coming to you from Hope Meadows Farm again. Very windy, cold day, January the 15th, 2026 already. So I traveled from North Carolina, where I'm working, back here to Central Georgia, here to the farm today. And hunting season ended last Sunday, so now it's time to get to work doing the winter things that need to be done around the farm. I actually love this time of year when season's over. As much as I love hunting, I love getting started on the management around the property. Now's a good time to do it. So today I need to cut some trees off the Firebreak that have fell across so that I can maintain those. I'll be hooking up this Bush Hog 296 here. I like to do a little brush management this time of the year also. I'll also be hooking up a front grapple that I'll show you here in just a minute. But while I'm standing here, I thought I would explain a little bit about the two bush hogs. So the 296 is a 6 foot, which I had with a previous tractor that I had here on the farm. I sold that tractor when I bought the Massey Ferguson 4710 here behind me. So I wanted to keep this one because I do, like I said, a lot of brush management, cutting things 2 to 3 inches in diameter, and this is not wider than the wheels of the tractor, so getting around stumps and everything is a lot better, and it's got a really heavy duty gearbox on it. So the bush hog on the left is a Woods 7 foot with a double tail wheel on it, and I bought that with the Massey Ferguson when I bought it because I wanted something to cut all the fields with. I do not use this to do brush management. I use it mainly to keep all the food plots bush hogged when needed. I love it. I love the double tail wheels on it. It's almost like a pull behind when you go to back up, and just a really much larger in length and width than this 6. Okay, it's a little cold today, so the slip joint did not want to slide too well, and quite frankly, they still have not come up with a great way to hook up a bush hog. Now let's go get the grapple. We have now made connection with the grapple to the loader attachment. And first thing you want to do is make sure you lock it in. Definitely don't want to lose it off the plates. Once that's done, it's time to hook up the lines for the clamshell to the third function valve that is plumb to the front. One trick I've learned from doing this a few times is stop the tractor, put it back into the accessory mode, and then work the clamshell or the third function back and forth to release the pressure. That makes these lines go on really easy. Also, if you'll notice, I got white tape around this one, and on the function down here I have white tape. That way I'm not messing with the motion of the way the clam works, because if you swap the lines around, it's going to work right the opposite. So I like to keep it the same way every time. Also, just before I hook them up, there's a hose guard here that keeps the movement of this arm here from rubbing a hole in your lines. Always make sure you keep those intact. Okay, so now it's attached and ready to go. A few things about this rake. I purchased this for this tractor. One mistake I made is I got the heaviest duty they make. This is an 84-inch extreme duty grapple rake. And the reason I went with the heaviest they make is I had intentions of getting a skid steer one day for the farm. Still might one day. And I figured I'd already have a good rake to put on it that was heavy duty and would hold up. The problem is it's about 1,600 pounds, and it puts a lot of weight on the front of the tractor without even picking up anything. But it still will pick up a good load. I try to be really careful because I don't want to mess up the loader arms. And again, it's a really good rake. It has change out teeth, so if it gets wore down, you can change the teeth out on it. And the few times I have used it, it's done a really good job. Okay, now we'll warm it up, work the motion a little bit, and we'll get ready to go do the work we need to do. Okay, so I've got everything hooked up to the tractor. Now I'm going to get the chainsaw and I'm going to head to the firebreak areas that have the trees and go ahead and cut the trees in lengths so that I can pick them up with this grapple and get them out of the way. So stay with me and the fun will begin. Now I'm here on the firebreak where I need to cut some of the trees off, as you'll see, that's blowed over. One of the first things I like to do, especially when you're out in the woods and you have dead trees falling, is I look up, because obviously these are dead. There could be more around and it's a very windy day, so definitely don't want to be working here and another tree blow over on top of you. when you're riding through the woods and you see the trunks of the trees, you really don't know they're dead until you look up and you see the tops are dead in them. So you have to be very careful with that. So I'll get my saw out, which I have with me. I have my chaps on. I'll make sure that I put my screen on my face, and we'll get busy cutting these trees up so that when I come in here with the grapple, it'll be easy to pick them up and get them out of the way. Stay with me. Okay, got the main logs cut. Now we have a top of a tree up here. It's a little harder hardwood to cut, but Notice I'm being really careful with this one because all the weight is on the limbs that are laying out towards the end. So I don't want the tree to roll over on me, so that's why I'm taking it so easy on this one. sections now to where I can bring the tractor and grapple in here and pick out the pieces, stack it, and haul it out of here. May offer it to my neighbor who has a fire pit that we go up and set beside sometimes late in the evenings, and it'd make some good burning wood for that. But next step, you'll see me with the grapple and the tractor in here. yesterday afternoon, cut all this to lengths, and then came back this morning with the grapple on the tractor and just showed you a little bit about how I gather it up and restack it until I get enough to make a full clamp. By no means am I an expert on this. I don't use it that much, but I do take my time because I do not want to damage the tractor, so I go slow with that. But overall, it gets the material up, saves a lot of back breaking work, and now I have a full grapple full of hardwood limb that fell off here, and I'm going to call my neighbor and see if he wants it up at his fire pit. Make some good burning, sitting around and chatting around the fire pit. But just wanted to show you that little bit of work, and again, if you have any comments, please let me hear them. Thank you.